Finally, we are going to do these utility poles. So it's very important to practice these, because if you get them wrong in your painting, because they stand out so clearly, then you basically can't correct them, not easily. So it really is important just to have at least one practice before you try to do the real thing in your final painting. So the important thing to think about is control. So we're using our liner brush and we want to do a line up like this. So if we do it like this, it's quite difficult and we haven't got so much control. You can do it. I mean, that worked out quite well. But if you put your hand on the paper, it just gives you that greater feeling of control. Like that. Now, if that's all we had to do, it wouldn't be too bad. But these poles are often, well, I think maybe always, wider at the bottom. So what we've got to do is try and paint alongside that line and gradually bring it in like that. Now don't rush this. And if you go in too quickly, just go back to where you were and start again. Now you don't have to do it too much and get it too accurate, but as long as you can suggest that it's wider at the bottom and more narrow at the top, then that's enough. And then we've got a bar that comes across like this, and then a bit that comes up like this. And by resting my hand on the paper, it gives me a lot of control, which is so important for these kind of shapes, these kind of objects. And now we're going to do another one about here, and this has to be bigger. So of course it's always important before you paint this to make sure that you're going up vertically and that it's not slanted. So we go up very slowly. There we go. And then let's do the top bit like that. And they look parallel, so that's good. And then we make it thicker at the bottom. Slowly going in. And you can do this just to blend it, but be careful. It's tricky. And it won't be perfect. So don't get too upset if it doesn't look perfect. Now, I'm not sure where I'm going with this. I think this one is in the foreground and this is in the background. So really this needs to be bigger and thicker. So you might want to make it just a little bit thicker if you've got the patience. If you haven't, it's probably okay. You'll probably get away with it. Yeah, as you can see now, that's a bit thicker than that one, and that's enough. And the final thing we want to do is the cables. So get your scrap paper, have a few goes. You need to build up some kind of confidence and get a feeling for making a nice smooth movement like that. Because the thing is, they're not going to go straight. They they go down, they dip down and then go back up again. So just practice a few times. And then can you see I'm doing this above the paper just to get an idea where the lines need to go. So yeah, that one should have gone to, yeah, that one, that one, that one. And then let's do some more. The first one is always the most stressful one. And they're going off somewhere. So there we go, utility poles. So please have a go at doing these difficult elements before you have a go at the full painting itself, because it will give you good practice and a good idea of what's going to happen, and it might save you a lot of time and frustration, because if you get to almost the very end of the painting and then you cock it up or make a mistake with this utility pole, then you are going to feel really, really unhappy. Of course, if you do make a mistake with these utility poles, you can just wet them and wipe them out with tissue. It will maybe spoil the sky a little, but if you're careful, you might be able to get away with it. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that warm-up session. Now, let's do the final painting, or what should I say? Let's tackle the painting.